Ethereum is on an absolute moon mission right now. Ziggy, turn the living room light green. The party is about to get started. Well, my friends, it has been a fat chunk of time since my last video. Just to recap, from the bear market of 2022, from that low, Bitcoin is up about 700%, which is pretty freaking sweet. This thing has just been unstoppable. We've had a few 30% dips or so along the way. Pretty freaky for those who don't tolerate volatility very well. But the thing is, you can see this 50-week moving average has pretty much been a bottom indicator for us multiple times this cycle. And it's been a fun ride, slow and painful. Actually, since my last video, I believe my last video was right here. This is where we were, which is pretty tragic. So I was pretty bullish then, and I ended up being brutally incorrect, and we took a dive to the tune of about, on the total crypto market cap, it's about negative 42%, but in reality, a lot of the coins that I was holding at the time, or I'm still holding, took like 70% dives. And man, that was brutal. So from December of 2024, after the Trump hype, after he got elected, we've been pretty well smashed in the altcoin realm. However, there is good news. Ethereum also got completely rolled from like 4,000 or so down to 1,300. About a negative 60% dump. Nice. And then we got a pretty fat rally happening at this moment to the tune of about 150%. So, wild swings, indeed, wild swings. You can see ETH has these like kind of triple top action going on, and we are headed up there to challenge those highs again. If I take off some of this nonsense, you'll see we had a pretty solid uptrend going on for several years right here. See, we bottomed in 2022 right here, bounce, 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 and then it was this moment when we failed that everything took a pretty deep dive across the board. Ethereum's like the king of the alts, so when that fell through support, man, some of the tokens like IO, which I was really hyping up at the time, check this out. This is emotional damage. Let's see, where'd I put that thing? I've got a fatty list of coins. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. I was about here-ish, kind of chopping around up here above support at this point in time. It went ahead and took an 89, let's just say 90% dump. So that didn't feel great, but that's the risk you take with some microcaps. So what I want to do is just look at like the overall market and check out how we're doing. Oh, my little scroller thing is tweaking. Yeah, so let's just look at the total market cap. And as you can see, this looks strong as can be. We are breaking out into price discovery mode as we speak. You can see the last cycle highs. This is all crypto coins combined. And right now, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see, oh wow, we took a fat hit, which is actually fantastic news. It's the reason I'm making this video. But we were chilling up here at like 66 to 65% dominance, which means 65% of all the money in crypto was in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the king. It's basically holding up the market, and it has been for a long time. But we're starting to see rotation, and you can see that with this ETH BTC ratio. Basically, ETH has been bleeding against Bitcoin for years on end. It has taken its sweet time to get back down to the range lows, but we finally did. When ETH lost that support, we nuked down to the range lows, and now we're getting a thick bounce right off that. And that's what we want to see. You can see last time when we kind of changed course, this was alt season right here. And that's where you make turbo money, like anywhere from 10 to 50x gains. So right now we're sitting pretty good as far as the reversal goes. Bitcoin dominance is indeed taking a hit. Like on this chart, you want to see the opposite. These moments where this chart takes a fatty dump is where you want to be in the market. And you can see I was an absolute fool. I forgot. A buddy of mine named Gavin actually reminded me that I didn't have a magnet on this chart, and for that I've been screwing everyone. So I'm sorry for my sins. I had put the magnet on, and actually as soon as I did that, we started diving. So you can rest assured that this is sucking the price action in the correct direction. Now, if we go over here back to ETH, we have turbo blasted right back through this resistance line. It was looking a little sketchy here for a minute. Let me just give you a quick glance at it. We came back up, and you see all these wicks. We were just like repeatedly tapping that line and getting rejected. We got this final rejection down into the bull market support band. This was the critical moment. This was like do or die. If we fell back down, it was like over, and financial ruin. But sure enough, we have absolutely thrusted back up to the upside. So next step is clearly this thing is just at this moment. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, I mean, we are, as we speak, pushing up. So the next level to really be looking out for, I mean, I'd be interested to see what happens when we sweep this high. Sometimes when you sweep a high like this one, I was curious about, but we just kind of sliced right through it. This little high is another minor level at 3,700, and once we tap this boy, I mean, I would be very impressed if we just cut right through that, just because that's where we have been rejected a few times. But that is the level. That's at 4,000, pretty much 4,000 on the dot. So once we hit 4K, that's a moment of truth. I would actually expect something like this to play out. Actually, my thesis, if you'd like to know, is that when this gets up here to this line, we'll be chilling up here for a minute, and then total 3, the altcoins, that's everything else, you can see we're also heading up to this line. So this will probably kind of, when ETH makes it up there and chills for a second, this will kind of catch up, and then we'll have our own line to reckon with here in the altcoins. A lot of charts are going to be kind of aligning together here pretty soon. This is the critical level. And I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this happen, where we just get absolutely nuked off it and then just V-shape into Valhalla, basically. So I think there's got to be one more scare coming to kind of flush some of the longs, because people are getting pretty wild out there. A lot of leverage. The amount of shorts that have been obliterated is in the billions. It's fantastic. So I would imagine the long leverage is starting to get a little frothy and out of hand. So once we get up here, I would imagine we just nuke down and then shoot up. So this would basically crush people that got in here. The market's all about destroying people that are late. So, and the people that just buy and hold are the ones that generally win, as long as can read the sell signals, which is max euphoria. When your aunts and your uncles are hopping in to the market, oh shoot, it is time to dump our bags. So keep that in mind. I'm thinking ETH is going to at least 6K, and I say that because, I mean, let's just take a look at past cycles. Sometimes you can lose sight of what's realistic. I mean, look at that leg. This was a from the low down here, a 4,000% move. Now let's see where we're sitting currently from the bear market low. 300%. So there's room. Let's just say that. I mean, look at these legs up. These are the real moves in the cycle. These huge, and then bear market, consolidation, real move, bear market. I mean, we're still kind of in the consolidation phase to some extent. I mean, we've moved up and then we got dumped down almost back to the lows, and now we're moving up again. Some other favorites like Cardano looking real nice. I mean, this one actually looks yoked. Look at that. It's just popping right out of that, all those resistance bands. If you look at it on the weekly, we're about to get a real nice girthy close above all of the resistance levels here. I mean, we're challenging this little mid-high here, and then basically it's the highs after that. And, I mean, you can see what this sucker did. I mean, you can see we haven't even left the pit. Over here, when we were in the pit, you can see we had this like middle high. I would say, you know, this move is similar to this move. Then we dump back down, chop around. That was the COVID crash. That's kind of hard to count just because that's extreme fear. And then we bounce up. We're kind of bouncing up. We pull back. We're pulling back. And then the turbo. And then, I mean, like, if this does have follow through and we kind of come up here and just boom, that's what I'm expecting. We'll see if it happens. But, I mean, history does show, there's actually some real cool charts I'll pull up here in a minute that just makes me tingle. All right, here's one of those super cool charts I wanted to show you guys. It's basically, it's the total market cap risk levels, and this is a screenshot that I grabbed. It is a paid subscription dealio from this legend named Benjamin Cohen. He's like a nuclear engineer that built all these charts based off a ton of data that's mind-boggling, but I just wanted to, in case, you know, I don't know how illegal it is to show things like that, but just so he has all the credit, I wanted to shout him out. Now, look at this. You can see that there's these giant peaks that happen in the euphoria phase. That's when your uncle is hopping in and you sell him your bags. So that is precisely what these little peaks are. And each cycle comes all the way back down to the lows after the bear market, or during the bear market. Pops back up, and you can see these kind of consolidation phases. There's even one over here where things are just kind of winding up, getting ready to go into that mania phase. This is the 2016 going into the 2017 cycle top. This is 2020 going into the 2021 cycle top. And right now you can see we've been just in this kind of no man's land, this middle section winding up here throughout 2024 into 25. And my base thesis is that we're about to get this euphoria pump. And that is like what you wait years for. I've been faithfully stacking my bags for years, waiting for this moment. So I'm a little biased, but you can also just like look at some of these charts and be like, yeah, it looks like, you know, things are very cyclical. Human behavior is cyclical. It looks like we're headed straight back for that moment. Another absolutely juicy chart that I wanted to show is these are called logarithmic regression bands, and it's based on all the data points from each day of the price action. The price spends the most time in these lower blue bands down here, right? And then in the cycle bubble phases, it kind of comes up and taps these red lines. And you can see we've been in these blue lines in this Bitcoin cycle for like the entire time. We are just now kind of challenging the top of those blue lines. But, and you can see what's crazy about this, and this sounds psychotic, but the lower band, the lower red band on the upper end of things, if we were to go just straight up to it, is at 277,000 per Bitcoin. So that's interesting. We don't necessarily have to make it up there, but odds are that we're gonna pop out of these blue bands at some point. And we're chilling at 120K at the moment, and it's like, bruh, there's still, according to this, room to run. I mean, the upper band is at 400K. I don't see that happening, but you never know. Things can get frothy once the Fed cuts rates. So that's fascinating to look at. I mean, the other one would be the fair value. And you can see here, this is like kind of the median price over using all the data points. And you can see every cycle top, we've kind of popped out and above these fair value logarithmic bands. Right now, we're kind of right smack in the middle of them. We're basically at fair value. Well, not even quite. We're right here. But you can see if we were to pop above these bands like every other time, right now, that upper bound band is at 169K. One quick thing that I would recommend you do if you are interested in this market is to just open a tab, type in Google Trends. We'll come over here. We'll just type in Bitcoin. And you can see, let's just look at like the past 5 years. Yeah, this is one of the best indicators when it comes to mania phases and the alt season, is when this is going up, things are starting to get frothy. And you can see in 2021, it peaked here and it hung out up here for a while. And then when the bear market started, we went back to like nothing, which is basically just showing the zero interest in the market. So you want to be able to see, is the public interested at all whatsoever in what's going on? And you can see there was this one little, basically baby mania phase. Oops, here, let me drag that up a little bit. Baby mania pop right here. And then it dissipated. This was when Trump got elected, and things went nuts for like 1 month, basically. And then it went back to nothing, and people have just not been interested, and now we're seeing a little tick up again. And it doesn't look like much. Actually, an even better thing to type in would probably be just crypto in general. This is freaking hilarious. Why that's suggested, I have no clue, but that's funny. We go, so 2021 cycle, blasting to the moon. That was when alts did like 30,000%. Then we took a fatty dump all the way into like zero, and we've just been kind of chilling down here at zero. There was that pop in November. It was sort of like a mini alt season, but it just didn't last. It just wasn't time yet. And then here we are again, we're ticking up. So this is the moment where we're like, are we going to get one of these? So this thing continues to climb. I mean, it's a bit tough because if you wait till it's at the top, then you're just going to get dumped on. But this is basically confirming, hey, like, interest is suddenly surging. And we don't want to see this take a dump down. If that happens, then the move is probably a fake out. But I'm guessing, based on some things, it is not. Some of the things I've shared, obviously. I thought Solana was dead, actually, down here at like $8. And then it proceeded to just shred my face off to the tune of 3,500%. Oh my, makes me sick. Anyways, this thing does look like it's bottoming out. It's got a nice little cup and handle pattern. It is challenging this high, and once it breaks it, it's just going to go straight to 260. Algo had a nice move earlier today. Yeah, that looks nice. These setups are looking juicy. Link is one of my favorites, one of my largest bags. You can see this bad boy has been in an uptrend since the bear market, the accumulation phase. This was between 2022 and 2023. It just chopped flat at basically $7. And this guy here, last bull market, I mean, just did some pretty silly numbers. Let's just take a look. That went up about 30,000%. So that is what we're waiting on right now. We're kind of, here's the accumulation, the first leg up, a little bit of uptrend action, accumulation. First, we're kind of slowly grinding up. This boy will most certainly come back up here to test this channel, like I've been talking about. And that is the moment of truth. That is what we need to look out for. When we get back up here, do we dump down all the way to the back of this channel again and we do something silly? I don't think so. A lot of times the third time is the charm on this. I think what happens is we come up here, get hit, get a super scary nuke that freaks everyone out, and then suddenly just boom, sending it to new highs. This thing's going towards $100 for sure. 100 is right here. Last cycle it peaked out at 50 something. I've been holding since over here. Unfortunately, I started buying this in like the 30s on the way down up in here because I thought that this bounce was coming back. Then I bought more down here, and then it got nuked into oblivion, and I just stacked it in this accumulation zone. And we're doing good here. I mean, it's been super slow. I mean, this one's up like 3x from my larger buys, and it's been higher already. So that one's just kind of a long hold. Should be looking juicy on that. Okay. In conclusion, it is getting very late. My wife and child are asleep. I must slumber. This has unfortunately been the longest, least entertaining video I've ever made, but I just wanted to talk some charts. So in conclusion, everything's actually looking good now. I mean, the total crypto market cap, all crypto and combined, is at all-time highs as we speak, thanks to Bitcoin. Ethereum is coming back with a vengeance, thrusting. So remember, look out for this level right here. Just a couple quick winners, because some altcoins have been doing exceptionally well. Aave's been a winner. I mean, since the bear market, this thing's been up 530%. Thankfully, I did accumulate some of that. Let's see. Sui is a newer one that's just been absolutely crushing. I was fortunate enough to get some down in here after this big run that we witnessed. Grab some in here. That's up 450%. I definitely had been stacking it again in this dip in here, and we're already up a nice little 100%. I mean, this one thing has just kind of been unstoppable. Like every time the market catches a bid, it just shoots, and it's in a very clear macro uptrend. So this is kind of one of the new, I mean, this one's brand new as of this cycle, so it's a new up and comer. Arrow did amazing. I actually bought this on the launch, believe it or not. It launched on Coinbase, and I was just like, oh, a new little thing. I'll throw some cash in there. It instantly just goes and does a 20x, 2,000%. I mean, it wasn't enough to brag about. So I accumulated some in this dip, a little bit in this dip. I think it's going to do well just because it's like a finance coin, and I don't know, they just seem to do good. Another one that I'm stacking that's not doing great is Sonic, formerly Phantom. I think this thing, I mean, let's just take a quick gander at what this did last cycle. I mean, from the lows, over 100,000%. And it's just been holding the line, chopping flat. So this thing is not dead by any means. If you look at the transactions, they're like, this chain is still very active, so I'm getting into that. I went absolutely ham on AVAX in this last dip down here in the 20s and a little bit below. So I'm hoping this comes back. My degenerate pick of this video is Pinlink. This is a micro cap, absolute degeneracy. It's at like a $30 million market cap. This is one of those that could just nuke to zero if something goes wrong. So extremely risky. But I have been accumulating this bad boy throughout this range. And then it did take kind of an unfortunate, see, even though this move looks small to the downside, that's a 50% drop right there. And I did grab a tiny bit more right there. And now we're up. I mean, even this small little leg up is up 130%. So I'm basically at break even on this, but I think, I don't know, this is my pick right now. All this thing, you have to realize that 50 million market cap is so tiny when most of these coins are like in the billions, 10 billion. So if this were to go to 10 billion, oh my word, even just 1 billion is a 20x. This thing would just be stratosphering. So that's kind of the attraction to these pitiful little vaporware coins, is like if this thing catches a bid because some bigger crypto project decides to onboard it, which happens all the time, this thing's gonna pop up, do a little test, and then just go nuclear. So what would I should have done the math, but let's say this was at $1, it's at 87 cents. $1 at like 50 million market cap. Yeah, so it could go to $20 if it goes to a billion. I think I'm doing my math right. Yeah. So $20 would be I didn't even zoom out far enough. Let's just theorize here. Also, the supply is only 100 million, which is small. Most of these coins have multiple billions of tokens in circulation. Yeah, so 2,000%, $20, juicy little 20x there, and it could happen in like a few bars. So there's my degenerate pick. But I mean, if you're just trying to play it safe, stack the bigger ones. There's a lot of juicy opportunities. I like AVAX, I like Link. ADA is always great. This is a retail favorite. This thing's going to come back for sure. H-bar is doing good. Algo is catching a bid. I wouldn't touch XRP with a 10-foot pole. I've been super wrong about this. This thing's been on an absolute tirade, shooting up like 600% there, and I mean this latest move in the last few days is another 64%. This thing's at a $200 billion market cap. So like that other Pinlink token I was talking about, if it goes to a billion, it's a 20x. Well, this one's like 200 times that 20x. So I don't know. That would be like hundreds of thousands of percent gain. Anyways, this thing's already kind of had its move, but I mean the narrative behind this one is that the banking is going to run on this. I kind of doubt it, but I mean the price action is definitely doing something here. But basically what I'm saying is, in order to get a 2x on this project has to go to 400 billion. I don't know, maybe it could happen. I've been wrong before, but everyone's hyped about XRP right now because it's up, 800%. Anyways, yeah, that is the update. Ta-ta for now, leggies.